Hey, Swimming in Stars tribe. Hello, great big world. Hi, everyone that is here for healing, here for connection. Anyone that's struggling and in pain, I welcome you to join us on this journey of healing. There's so many different things about astrology that can feel overwhelming or a lot of information, or that can feel like um, hard or difficult, or but I encourage you to know that everything that's difficult, everything that's a challenge, and everything that's hard is to get you to the other side, to get you to where you have blessing and expansion beyond your wildest dreams, something you can't even see or know that is possible now, because there's a corner that you have to get around or a new perspective that you might need to take. So blessed and happy to be with you today on the summer solstice, which is also the day of an eclipse and also the day of a Gemini stellium. So we're going to look at all those things in astrology and hopefully unite you on your healing journey. There's a lot of pain in the world, a lot of suffering, sickness, disease, conflict. And the energy that we're experiencing through this eclipse season, if you feel broken, if you feel broken down, if you feel in pain, it's to break you open. And so that we can all open enough to connect and heal. So I encourage you above all things to connect to your fellow humans, to connect with nature, to connect with that deepest part of your soul. That's what this particular eclipse is asking us to do. And that's what this season is about. Retrograde isn't the end of the world. Retrograde is deep reflection. It's a revolution that happens within inside us first, so that when we go out in the world to take action and to build a new foundation and structure, it can come from a centered place of connection and from our soul path and journey. So let's look at these charts together. I'm going to show you first, just before the solar eclipse, we have a pretty cool chart here. It's a transformational Gemini stellium. And what we're looking at here is a stellium in the 8th house. These charts are for Denver, Colorado. If you're interested in charts from other locales, I do that professionally, and I can help you out. Just visit my Facebook page, Emery P. Archer, and I'd be happy to draw you up custom charts and do a custom reading for you as well. So what we have here is a midheaven of Leo, which is about being able to fully express ourselves because we know we're unconditionally loved and we can unconditionally love others. So that bright sun that we shine out in the world can be fully expressive, uncensored, unbridled, passionate, and it's slow burning fire that is loyal, that is full of love. So that's how we're out in the world with this Gemini stellium. The Cancer Mercury retrograde in the 9th is taking the inner revolution of sensitivity, of emotional connection and self-care, so that I can transform in the world. And I'm actually doing that journey in the world, which is pretty awesome. So I'm caring for myself out in the world. And it's sort of like when you're a healer and you can speak to people about your healing or the different modalities or the different journeys, and they can connect and go inside. That's this placement. When I look at all those air planets in a water house, so this is Scorpio's house, a plutonic house, a house of deep transformation, all the deepest, darkest places that we can go to dig out the material we need to truly be expansive in who we are in the world and ourselves. And we've got the sun and the north node and the moon and Venus. So my loving expression, who I am, all the information I need to follow my destiny and path. It's an amazing day to meditate or to ask for answers, to do deep breathing, to get out into the fresh air and experience the knowing of who you are in a transformational way. So I just love that. And then if you think about Gemini, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. But if you also think about the houses, the third house is traditionally Gemini's house. If you go down to the third house, we've got Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn. They're establishing a structure for my communication with myself that's empowering and that's powerful, and to build a structure for the future that is revolutionary and that can help humanity. So I encourage you to harness this information. If you're a creative person, the 5th house has Neptune and Mars. Your dreams, your writing, your expression, your poetry, all leads to having a daily, brave life of healing. And I absolutely love that chart. So of course I want to tell you about the solstice chart, but that chart's pretty darn cool too. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the solar eclipse chart for today. And I'll just make this a little bit bigger. Um, okay, so here, uh, I love to sort of not look at the charts too much before I do the video because I want to see kind of what comes through in the sphere of the universe and in our connection together as we look at this. Pisces rising, I'm going to be out in the world in the most healing way possible, where I'm connected with everyone, with their pain, with their torture, with their suffering, also with their greatness, with their potentialities, with everything that they can possibly be. It's a sacrifice and a giving that doesn't feel like sacrifice or giving. It feels like receiving. It feels like being open. It feels like being filled up, going out into the world to be the action of the ocean. Think of all the ecosystems and the shipwrecks and the tidal waves and the storms that the ocean is able to hold. And what do we all want to do when we want to go on holiday or vacation? We want to go to the ocean. Why? Because it's holding all of that space. It's holding beauty. It's holding recovery, and it's holding recharging. And that's how we're to go out in the world. That's what this eclipse is about, being able to harness that energy. And that's with Sagittarius at the midheaven, very close to the galactic center, I might add. So if you haven't looked that up, it's a very interesting read. But being able to go out in the world in a galactic way, in an exploring way, in not just an exploring way willy-nilly. I'm not just shooting my arrows out into the universe and running willy-nilly to go pick them up. I have a light arrow filled with spirit, filled with inspiration, filled with higher truth about myself and about others. And where's this coming from? Maybe past life integration, to be honest with you. Maybe there's things that have held me back in a past life that I can now shoot forth this energy towards without fear, with bravery and with passion, with commitment, and with knowing that when I get to my higher truth, whatever it is, I am truly me. Not to be afraid of that. Sagis aren't afraid of that. It's this beautiful exploration. When I get there, whatever material I find out, I'm going to deal with it in a way that brings me to the highest level, that brings my friends, my family, my community to a higher level. When you look at Pluto and Jupiter and Saturn over here, they are making a little trio. And of course, Aquarius has started to happen with Saturn, but he's in retrograde. He's going to come right on back to Capricorn. But we're revisiting what we need to be powerful, to be structured, to be able to make a revolution within a system that isn't working for us, a health system that isn't working for us, a government that isn't working for us, a society and culture where people are not empowering each other. And this is a revisiting so that we can come forth from this retrograde period stronger, transformative, beneficial financially, having a structure that benefits all of humankind, not just myself. And it's very powerful, this retrograde. It's not a negative thing. It's us gathering all the resources we need, all the information we need, all the power that we need to be a different society, to be a different city, a different state, a different culture, a different country, and to band together globally. When you talk about going from the 9th, 10th, and 11th houses in astrology, that's about transformation in the world to empower and reach out so that we can all be connected. And the end result of that is our 12th house, our spiritual undoing of everything that separates us so that we can come together. Of course, we have a revolution within the soul. We've got Uranus in the second in Taurus. What do I need to have a revolution within myself about so that I can be peaceful, so that I can create peace? And Chiron in the first, what am I afraid of? And what do I need to face in order to truly be myself? And then in the fourth house, of course, we've got our Cancer new moon eclipse close to the North Node, only 1 degree away, with retrograde Cancer Mercury, which I did another video on if you're interested in. But going within to have the emotional connection, to release, to let go, to find our home and our destiny within our hearts, so that when we do go out into the world, so that when we do create this foundation for transformation, it's emotionally connected. What am I afraid to face? What's so sensitive to me? And can I be a support to myself and my loved ones by getting all the information needed and creating that space for revolution within myself? And it's not a violent revolution. it's a beautiful revolution of care and of understanding and of healing. So give yourself some space to connect with nature, to connect with loved ones, to connect with your inner healing. If you receive messages, ask for those messages. If you pray, pray. If you go out into nature and speak to trees, speak to trees. If you are a humanist, speak to your humans and be with your fellow humans, and let this opening come, the sensitivity, let the catharsis and the breaking open begin, because this solstice is about us connecting deeply within so that we can go forward united, building a foundation for the most exciting expansion that we've known in a really long time. And it's way overdue. So I send you love and blessings and peace and hope always. You can find me on Facebook. Our group is called Swimming in Stars Astrology. It's a free healing Facebook group. We're also working on a new website, My Soul Astrology, which will be up soon. I'm EP Archer, and I hope to see you soon. Be well and happy summer solstice.